The next bit of news that we have here, the next topic we're going to be chatting about is around the Batman 2. So this is the one with Robert Pattinson. And so for those of you who would know or had seen the Batman, people have I kind of seen online, and it seems as though people put across this idea that somehow the Batman wasn't received well, or that people didn't love it, or there seems to be sometimes this perception. But the movie made almost 800 million, dollars worldwide, at a time where the DC brand, I guess, the DC EU, the movies that were being put out by them, I don't think, from memory, any of them have made over 400 million since Aquaman came out. The first Aquaman, not the second one, the first one, right? So this is in a time where I think people were already kind of getting over the DCEU, but the Batman brought them out. When the casting came out, I remember there was two ones that were looking at there. Nicholas Hoult was up for Batman, and it was Robert Pattinson. And I remember hearing these ones. I'd never thought of Robert Pattinson as playing Batman. It hadn't even crossed my mind. I hadn't seen him in anything really since Twilight. My goodness. But he had done some amazing work. I did see Good Times, which he played a really solid role in that. And then Tenet came out as well, which was a really great movie, and he was one of the best things in that movie. But yeah, there was a lot of hate for him, understandably so. If people hadn't seen what he had done and kind of just only saw him as the Twilight boy kind of character, going back to those movies, I love them. They are great, great comedies. I laugh so much, and they fill me with joy. But he did as good a job as you could do in that situation. But he's done some amazing work since then, and I actually became a really big fan and supporter of him in this role. I believed that he could do it. He's one of those characters where you kind of feel like in real life you'd meet him and you'd be like, I feel so uncomfortable around you because you seem so awkward. But he seems like a lovely guy, and I felt like he had potential to play the Batman. And I went to watch the Batman, and I actually really loved it. The tone of that movie was... Gotham was pitch perfect for me. Those first 10 minutes of that film, for me, they just captured what, for me, Batman is. This symbol of fear and this intimidating, unknown, almost inhuman person that just strikes fear in people. And that, even though the third act of the movie, I felt wasn't as strong, it still, for me, has been, over the years since it came out, has been one of the most rewatchable things for me. I've come back to it and I've enjoyed it. And some great things that came out of that were some amazing performances from Paul Dano, from Colin Farrell, just as the Penguin, who I still don't really believe he's in there. It's crazy. I cannot see him in there at all. It's like, where is Colin Farrell? This is just a different human. So I loved it. And since that movie's come out, there's been this massive shuffle with DC, Warner Bros. And Paramount. No, not Paramount. Warner Bros. And Discovery have joined forces. There's new leadership there. Thank goodness. And they decided to install, some new leadership with James Gunn and Peter Safran. And there's been a whole new slate of these new films that we can look forward to in the DC universe, kind of a reboot. And the question has now been on people's minds of, is the Batman 2 actually going to be in this? Is it going to be happening? Does it fit in this? It's going to be part of this new universe. And it is a separate thing. It is its own thing. Matt Reeves has planned a trilogy around this. And recently there's been a bit of worry around it, I think, amongst the fans, because Jeffrey Wright mentioned something along the lines of that he hasn't even got a script. He doesn't know anything about it. You know, people like the cinematographer, you know, he hadn't heard anything about it either, and kind of the sense that, is it still happening? From what I understand, it actually was supposed to get shot last year. Like, production was going to start last year, but the writers and actors strikes were happening, and that kind of delayed it. But someone went to the source of all information, DC, and asked James Gunn on Threads, which I've discovered is like the new Twitter or X or whatever. I don't know, but it's there. And it seems to be the place where he likes to chat with people. So someone went and asked him the question, like, you know, what's happening here? Is this actually true? Is it cancelled? And James Gunn gave a really, really comprehensive answer. And he went on to say no. That's it. He just said no. So that's pretty solid answer. No misunderstanding around that. We are going to be getting a Batman 2, which I'm excited about. I can say one thing that they can, go without is the Joker, kind of the insertion of Joker into that, for me, felt a little bit shoehorned. I feel like we've seen so much of the Joker, and there's so many other characters there to explore that I feel like let's give them some light and introduce the Joker in a major way later on, like build it up, but let's do some other things first. There's so many awesome characters in the Batman's Rogues Gallery, and I think they need some light as well. So amazing stories. There's been some rumors around Clayface and stuff, but we'll see what pans out there. Exciting things that have kind of come off of that. I mean, we've got the Penguin series that Matt Reeves is working on, and that's probably one of the reasons why we haven't heard about this as well, is because he's working on the Penguin series. Apparently as well, he's working on an Arkham Asylum series that was originally not part of the DCU, but is now kind of moving into that universe, which Arkham Asylum, Batman-centric, awesome place to explore, crazy people everywhere, really awesome things you could do there. So, as of yet, the Batman is still due to be released October 2025, and hopefully we hear some rumors soon on production getting kicked up and things happening. Otherwise, I imagine that might need to be delayed, but we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Leave me your thoughts. Are you guys still excited to see the Batman 2? Do you think it's going to be any good? It's going to live up to the first one? Did you like the first one? Leave your thoughts below and let me know.